give you a notification that the hearing is being recorded in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law and broadcast over the Lunenburg Public Access. I'd like to introduce you to the board members. To my left is Lisa Normandin. She's the board secretary. I'm Al Gravel. This is James Bezikoski, Paul Doherty, and Pat Callahan. I will tell you how the meeting will proceed. Lisa will read the application and the other submitted communications. The applicant will have the opportunity for a comment on the application or submission of additional documents. You will please come forward to the mic and give your name and address, and board members will have the opportunity to ask questions they might have on the application while you're at the mic. There will be a public comment period. If you would like to speak, please come forward to the mic, give your name and address, and please address all comments and questions to the board. The board will go into deliberation. And this is a special permit to vary dimensional requirements, so there are certain findings. They are: number one, that the permit may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially degrading from the intent and purpose of the bylaw. To the specific site is an appropriate location for such building or alteration. The proposed building or alteration is compatible with the existing neighborhood with regard to size, location, and architecture. And the granting of the special permit will not adversely affect the neighborhood. 5, the granting of the special permit will not unreasonably diminish the available light, air, sunlight, and other amenities, and there will be no nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians. And I have one other thing before I ask Lisa to read the application. This is a special permit which requires a supermajority, which is, we usually have a 5-member board. Tonight we have 4. That doesn't change what we have to have. We still need 4 members, which means that you need each member to be in favor to grant. If one is opposed, then it's not granted. I will give you the opportunity, the board will give you the opportunity to continue if you would wait till we have a 5-member board, or we can continue tonight with the 4-member board, but I will leave that up to you.
I think we'd like to proceed tonight.
Okay, and with that then, I would ask Lisa to please read the application.
This is an application for a special permit, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 9, Zoning Board of Appeals. The name and address of the applicant is Kenneth Tully, P.O. Box 595, Dunstable, Mass. The undersigned hereby makes application as follows. The application for a special permit to vary dimensional requirements to allow a proposed dwelling to have a reduced front setback due to the location of wetlands on the property. The proposed action has not begun. The basis for this application is found in the following section of the Lunenburg zoning bylaw, Section 8.3. The street address of the property is 54 Maple Parkway, assesses map 57, lot 26. The name and address of each holder of legal title to the land, which is the subject of this case, is Kenneth A. and Kevin R. Tully of 116 Fletcher Street, Dunstable, Mass. 01827. And the deed is recorded in Worcester Northern District Registry of Deeds, Book 8984, page 92, and recorded December 18th, 2017. The additional information is provided because it is considered important to the case. Building permit plan dated September 18th, 2018, prepared by Ducharme and Dillis Civil Design Group, Inc., 54 Maple Parkway, Zoning Board of Appeals, supplemental information dated September 25th, 2018, prepared by Ducharme and Dillis Civil Design Group, Incorporated. And this is dated March, I think it says March 5th, 2018. And it's signed by Kenneth Tully, P.O. Box 595, Dunstable, Mass. This memo to the Zoning Board of Appeals dated March 1, 2018. The purpose of this letter is to provide written authorization to allow staff from Ducharme and Dillis Civil Design Group, Inc. to represent the project at 54 Maple Parkway. Respectfully submitted, Kenneth A. Tully, owner. There's a copy of the check for the filing fee, and the project narrative is as follows. Existing conditions. The subject property is located at 54 Maple Parkway, which is shown on Assessors Map 57 as Lot 26. The site is located within the Residential A zoning district. The property is located on the easterly side of the road and contains 18,567 square feet of land. As such, the lot is non-conforming in regards to required lot area, 40,000 square feet required, and width through building, 175 feet required. The lot contains an existing two-bedroom dwelling and an existing shed. The site is presently serviced by municipal water and a private septic system cesspool. The existing dwelling is located approximately 8 feet from a wetland resource located to the west of the existing dwelling. The wetland bisects the property. The existing cesspool is located between the dwelling and Maple Parkway. The area from Maple Parkway to the wetland resource area is occupied by the existing dwelling, lawn, and driveway, with approximately 23 feet between the edge of the wetlands and the front zoning setback. The site is serviced by municipal water. Proposed conditions. The applicant is proposing to raise the existing dwelling and construct a new family dwelling with a sewage disposal system conforming to the requirements of Title V and Lunenburg Board of Health regulations. The Board of Health has issued a permit for the construction of the sewage disposal system. The Conservation Commission has ordered an order of conditions approving and regulating the alterations depicted on the plan. The order of conditions has been recorded in the Worcester Northern District Registry of Deeds, Book 9133, page 272. As noted above, the property does not conform to the lot area or lot width requirements of the Residential A zoning district, and there is limited area available between the front zoning setback and wetlands. The applicant proposes to construct a new dwelling meeting the side and rear lot setbacks required by the Lunenburg Protective Bylaw. A reduced front property line setback is proposed to allow the proposed dwelling to be offset from the wetlands. Special permit criteria. Section 8.3 of the Protective Bylaw states the following. The Board of Appeals may grant a special permit to vary dimensional requirements upon its determination that the exception does not create undesirable conditions caused by overshadowing or loss of privacy, that access to utility and public services will be adequate and within the standards listed below. Dimensional requirements may be exceeded by special permit so as to conform to the average height, setbacks, or other relevant dimensions of existing principal buildings fronting on the same street or within 500 feet of the premises. 1. Standards. In granting the special permit, the board shall find that the permit may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent and purpose of this bylaw. See 250-4.2B and 250-4.C, 250-4.6C, and subsection B of this section, and shall find that A, the specific site is an appropriate location for such building or alteration, B, the proposed building or alteration is compatible with the existing neighborhood with regard to size, location, and architecture, C, the granting of the special permit will not adversely affect the neighborhood, D, the granting of the special permit will not unreasonably diminish the available light, air, sunlight, and other amenities, and E, there will be no nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians. The following is a brief description of the property project with respect to the criteria listed above. The specific site is an appropriate location for such building or alteration. The applicant is proposing to construct a single-family dwelling in place of an existing single-family dwelling. As the use of the property is the same, there will not be a detrimental impact to the neighborhood. The removal of the dwelling will not result in an intensification of use, and the use of the site for a single-family home is a use allowed by the protective bylaw. The proposed building or alteration is compatible with the existing neighborhood with regard to size, location, and architecture. The proposed dwelling will fit in with the architectural character of the neighborhood. The proposed use will be identical to the existing use and harmonious with the other uses in the neighborhood. The granting of the special permit will not adversely affect the neighborhood. As shown on the enclosed building permit plan, the abutting dwellings are located closer to Maple Parkway than the required zoning setback of 40 feet. The proposed dwelling is to be situated in a similar manner to the abutting dwellings, allowing for a cohesive streetscape and will not be detrimental to the neighborhood. The granting of the special permit will not unreasonably diminish the available light, air, sunlight, or other amenities. The proposed use of this site is as allowed by the protective bylaw and is the same as the existing use. The proposed dwelling has been cited to allow for increased protections to the environment to allow a sewage disposal system in conformance with the State Environmental Code to be constructed at the site. The proposed construction will conform to the height requirements of the protective bylaw and will not unreasonably diminish the available light, air, or sunlight. There will be no nuisance or serious hazards to vehicles or pedestrians. The proposed use of the site is the same as the existing use and is allowed by the protective bylaw. The proposed use is the same as abutting properties and will not be detrimental to the neighborhood nor create a nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians. As noted in the existing conditions narrative, the site is bisected by a wetland. Maintaining the existing setback to the wetland and meeting the front zoning setback specified in the zoning bylaw will result in building only 13 feet deep. As such, the location of the wetland on the property creates a hardship, and the proposed dwelling has been cited to fit with the character of the neighborhood while meeting the requirements of the Board of Health and Conservation Commissions. Elevations prepared by the client are attached. There is a certified list of abutters, all which were notified 2 weeks prior to tonight's hearing. There is a map from the assessor's office attached to that, and there is a site plan prepared by Ducharme and Dillis, and there is architectural sketches of what the dwelling is going to look like. And I also received a memo from, oh, and there is a copy of the deed attached as well. I received a memo today from Matt Morrow, Conservation Administrator. I have examined the application before the zoning board, and I would note that the Conservation Commission currently has a valid and active order of conditions for the proposal before the ZBA. If there are any changes generated as a result of the actions by the ZBA, the applicant should forward any changes to the Conservation Commission to ensure the same plans are being followed in the field. Thanks, Matt Morrow. I also received a memo from James Gariffi from the Lunenburg Board of Health. The site has access to municipal water and a permit for a new septic system. The system will be raised significantly and will include a retaining wall along Maple Parkway. Care needs to be taken to ensure the site is graded to prevent a problem for the system, house, or the road. And that's signed by Jim Gariffi of the Lunenburg Board of Health. And that's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
And with that, I would invite the applicant or representative to add or whatever you'd like.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Stan Dillis from Ducharme and Dillis. This lot, as it said in the narrative, is 18,567 square feet. It was created around 1950. There are two structures currently here. This is a trailer, a mobile home, and a shed back here. We've been to the Conservation Commission due to the fact that there's a wetland that cuts right through the middle. This is a man-made excavated ditch that was done sometime in the past. This topography goes up quite steeply on the other side. Walmart is up here at the top of the hill. My clients bought this lot with the hopes that they could improve it and do something better there. We have a septic system that has a septic permit. We've been to the Conservation Commission and have an order of conditions. So they'd like to, the order of conditions requires them to remove this shed, and we'll be removing this trailer. We'd like to replace that with this very modest house, as you see in the submitted materials. It's 24 by 44. It will be a raised ranch, and it'll be very similar to the other houses or fit with the architecture that's on that street. The house to the uphill side is 35 feet setback. This one is 31. There are several on the other side of the street when you get further down that are only 10 or 12 feet off the street. So I think this fits nicely with the streetscape and what's there. It's a very modest house. It'll certainly be a vast improvement from what's there now.
Okay, thank you. How far was the existing trailer from the front?
The existing trailer would be, the existing trailer is behind the setback line. Here's the setback line, so it's probably 42 feet off the
42
street.
feet, that's about what I estimate, okay. And the current proposal is 30?
30.
Correct, okay. And you're moving it to the new location, is that because of the septic system?
Yes, to get a conforming septic system on the lot.
Okay, okay. And,
And this, I just point out that this meets the setback requirement on this side.
right, Right. Okay, I'd open up to questions from the board.
I was over there this afternoon and I was looking and I think this would be a vast improvement to the neighborhood and actually increase the property values around it.
I would agree with that.
So I have no other questions, so.
Yeah, I concur with James. I was over there today too, and it would definitely improve the neighborhood. It's definitely going in the right direction. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Pat?
Yeah, I couldn't say anything else better. If you kind of look down the street, I think it kind of just is going to fit right in as if it was always there.
Okay. Does anyone from the public, would they like to comment? Yes?
They got a phone,
Good?
Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Well, thank you. With no public comment then, I will close off discussion and ask for a motion from the board.
I'll make a motion that we approve with the conditions also requested from the Conservation Committee that the requirements that have already been agreed upon be continued.
That's absolutely fine.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, with that, I will call for a vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
I do have just one more thing I have to read, the instructions for the special permit. Special permit is granted with the contingency that the petitioner comply with all other licenses, regulations, statutes, ordinances of any and all applicable local, state, and federal boards or agencies with jurisdiction over the premises. Special permit is subject to periodic review by the permit granting authority or enforcement officer to ensure compliance with any conditions. Non-compliance to such conditions may result in revocation of this permit. A copy of the board's decision shall be filed with the town clerk within 14 days, and any party aggrieved by the board's decision may appeal to Superior Court within 20 days after the decision is filed with the town clerk. After certification by the town clerk that 20 days have elapsed since the decision was filed, you should have it recorded at the Registry of Deeds. No special permit shall take effect until it has been recorded. The special permit shall lapse within 2 years unless substantial use or construction has commenced. And with that, we wish you good luck with your new construction project.
Thank you.
Yep, good luck.
Good luck. Wish them luck.
You'll be fast.
Okay, and with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
And with that, this meeting is adjourned.
Good night.